I do. I love my people. Okay. Okay. I want you to look at this letter. I want you to look at this executive order. I want you all to take screenshots of it. And some of y'all might be asking, why is it that all the other lawyers on YouTube and all these other legal minds haven't thought of reparations and taking this path? Because they ain't me. That's why. Because I'm out here litigating in these streets. That's why. Because I really do this. I'm not a criminal defense lawyer. I'm not one of those. This is what I do all day. And I go against huge insurance companies, huge states, municipalities. This is what I do. Some of these people are not qualified to have these conversations about executive orders and reparations. They don't do money. They try to get people out of prison. They do contract work. Nevertheless, don't ask me why. Just be thankful. This is the proposed executive order. All my smart kids, I want you to screenshot this. Let me see if I can make this a little bit smaller. I want y'all to have this. This is you. This is your heritage. I want you to screenshot this. All right. This is the proposed executive order. You might not ever meet me in your life, but you have my work. Okay. I'm going to read a little bit of it for you. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. All right. I don't know if I can make it a little bigger, but it says executive order by President of the United States of America, executive order on the establishment of a task force to pursue diplomatic and legal remedies for the descendants of the illegal post-1808 transatlantic slave trade. It was illegal after this stuff. Some of y'all trying to get me to zoom in, baby. I'm doing my best to zoom in. I'm trying to get it a little bigger. I don't know if I can make this a little bigger on this screen for you. But Section 1, it is the policy of the United States to acknowledge and address the specific, let me see here. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger for you, family. Y'all with me? Okay, there we go. Look at me. All right. Is that better? Can y'all see that? Take pictures of this. All right. It is the policy of the United States to acknowledge and address the specific historical injustice suffered by foundational Black Americans whose ancestors were unlawfully trafficked into the United States in violation of the act prohibiting importation of slaves in 1807. Effective January 1st, 1808, despite the prohibition, evidence confirms the illegal transatlantic slave trade continued, including the infamous voyages of such as those of the Clotilla and the Wanderer. These people were still bringing folk over here after it was illegal. All right, often conducted with the active participation of sponsorship of certain African nations. The United States recognizes a unique moral and legal and historical obligation to investigate these violations of U.S. international law and to facilitate diplomatic and legislative remedies consistent with the principles of law and justice and national healing. This is grounded in law, family. Okay? I want you to understand something. Okay? They already have laws. First of all, this act made it illegal. We got something in 2016 saying we can sue foreign nations. We got constitutional authority under the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 8. We have laws in place already. This is sound law. Okay? The first thing we want to do is we don't need to do any more research. Okay, we don't need to do any. We know what slavery did. But what we want the president to do is create a task force, the Department of Justice, State Department, Homeland, to figure out who we need to sue. See, that's what I'm talking about. Who we need to sue. So this is what I want to get straight to the point. What is the task force going to do? This is the task force here, right? And the president has the authority to do that under the executive branch. Identify nations of origins, examine historical and legal records to identify African sovereigns or successor states materially involved in the illegal slave trade after 1808. They got the records. They can do it. Recommend legal avenues, evaluate domestic and international legal frameworks to support civil claims, lawsuits by eligible foundational Black Americans, including statutes, treaties, and common law. Let them do the work. Give us the opportunity to sue these people. Evaluate sovereign immunity bearers. Assess the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. and recommend statutory acceptance or judicial pathways to overcome immunity and operate in inappropriate cases. Collaborate with the Department of State to engage diplomatic. So I got it all laid out here. The other thing we want, recognition of foundational Black Americans. The federal government formally recognizes foundational Black Americans as a distinct lineage group. Eligibility is defined as individuals who are U.S. citizens by birth, can trace their lineage to African ancestors enslaved within the present-day United States prior to the ratification of the 13th Amendment, descended from families who survived American slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, systematic racial discrimination unique to the U.S. experience. Okay? And here's some of the particular supportive legislative action, and I'm going to break that down for you in a minute. The president urges Congress to pass legislation such as the FBA Slave Trade Restorative Justice Act of 2025 that creates a private right of action for FBA against successive African states that participated in the illegal 1808 slave trade. The task force shall assist Congress in drafting legislation, create a federal jurisdiction over these claims so you can file in federal court. Waive sovereign immunity for relevant human rights violations. Some stuff is so bad we don't have to ask for permission. Establish a 50-year statute of limitations beginning upon the discovery of eligibility. And the Department of Justice shall provide technical expertise to support this legislative effort. They're going to give us the roadmap. Okay? Access to the legal resources and documentation. We're going to have access to the National Archives, Library of Congress, Department of Justice. Okay? And so this is generally it. And this will be signed by Donald Trump. Now, the other thing I want you to do, let's actually look now. So that is the actual proposed order. Executive order. I want you to look at the actual proposed legislation because this will be law. Okay, this is where I'm at. I'm not sitting around begging, asking for somebody to give us reparations. I'm going to take what's mine. I'm not like y'all. I'm going to get mine. You see what I'm saying? Let's take a look at the actual statute. I hope you all are taking photographs of this. I hope you're taking photographs of this. All right. I hope this broadcast, we have nearly 600 people in here. We need to get some more. This will be the act. Shout out to my man, Timothy Bright. The Foundational Black American Slave Trade Restorative Justice Act, 2025. This act may be cited as the FBA Slave Trade Restorative Justice Act of 2025. What are the findings? Congress finds that despite the prohibition of the transatlantic slave trade by the act prohibiting importation of slaves in 1807, effective January 1st, 1808, the illegal importation of enslaved Africans directly from Africa to the United States continued, including notable incidents involving the slave ships Clotilda and Wanderer. These voyages, despite transient stops elsewhere, in other words, they stopped in the Bahamas, they stopped in the Caribbean, they still came up here. Those were just transient stops. Okay? All right? Nevertheless, those voyages, despite transient stops elsewhere, resulted in the direct and unlawful transportation of Africans to the United States. The impact of this illegal trade has been profound and enduring for the descendants known today as foundational Black Americans. So basically, this is the statute. I'm going to make it, what I'm going to try to do for you all is make it so that you can take a photograph of it if I can. This is what we're going to try to do. I'm going to try to do my best. There you go. So take a photograph of this page, blow it up. All right. Take a photograph of this page and blow it up. All right. It basically talks about private right of action. That means it gives private citizens the right to sue. It's going to be federal court cases, federal jurisdiction. Venue is going to be proper. In the location on the plaintiff, so instance, for the instance in Clotilda, the Clotilda and those folks are still over there in Alabama. They can sue in Alabama. All right. What about the defendants? And these are the successor states where the defendants maintain diplomatic consul or official presence. In New York, most of these African countries have consulates in New York. You can sue them in New York. Historical connection, where there's a significant historical connection to the transatlantic slave trade. Virginia, all these different places. All right. Exceptions to sovereign immunity. Now we're going to sue you because You violated our human rights and you broke the law. Now, I want to read this one because I know you're hard-headed. All right. Successor state liability. The modern African nations are liable for the actions of their historical predecessors, states involved in illegal slave trade. You understand that? I know y'all learning something tonight. Ain't nobody else giving it to you like this. This is original content. Okay, I can sit up here and comment on people's videos, and I'll do that for a little while because y'all like that. But this is original mental power from your brother, Uncle D. You see, this is my intellectual property that I'm giving away to you for free because I love you. Somebody type "I love you" in the chat room.
DennisSpurling got the mic on fire.
I'm a black father, I have black son.
Tune in, we be feeling inspired. From the heart, real talk ignite. Every episode brings to light. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins, enjoy the ride. Come say hi, catch the wave, don't pass by. Lifted spirits always in sight. In this podcast, joy takes flight. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins.
Donation. I thought it was a transfer.
Hey man, I'll do what I do. You know that.
Your ass class, don't come over here. You tall black women up inside. I don't give a fuck about